You're so far back, it's cracking me up. All right, C major 7 to a D minor 7. And the lick, he was taking a singular lick, but just altering one note to make it work over the changes. What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it basically goes, and then inverting it, but then realizing that you can't, that you had to resolve it to make it work with the next chord. And then I was horsing around. Okay, just horsing around. But you can hear the, you know, da 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 da. So it's kind of like they're sharing the less, but you can take a lick and repeat it over the changes, and maybe sometimes you only have to change one note to make it work, and everything else is the same. That's the continuity. That's like playing through the changes. Whereas like a lot of times people will, one thing they'll do is they'll take the same lick and they'll just move it up. So one thing they would possibly do, like say if they're playing a blues, for example, I've heard this with a lot of basic blues. If they're playing like which is nothing wrong with it, it's cool, but what's cool is when you can play the same lick so you just kind of get, you know, you find a note to land on that's in the next chord, but it's pretty much mostly the same lick, rather than just repetitive. And so, and then we did that too. So you can just experiment with all of that. And then we were talking about taking how C major 7th and A minor 7th are a lot the same, and you can superimpose like a blues lick in a certain way in an A minor, but you can be, you know, it now sounds like a blues lick still because I just played it in context, but if you were just sitting here going, just playing that pentatonic, you know, it was like an A minor pentatonic, but over that C major 7th. I mean, but if I'm playing an A, same notes, but see how the context makes it sound so different? So, but it's kind of cool, you can like recycle some of your licks. So you can go from up a minor third is what they call it, from a major chord. So if you're in C major, I'm sorry. C major 7th chord, some sort, or even a C major, you could go up a 6th. So in this case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is your A. So you got a major chord, you can go up a 6th and harmonize that minor chord or play a minor type scale from that. So it'd be like playing an A pentatonic or A minor pentatonic, A blues scale, whatever you want to call it. You get to play that, so it's the 6th above the major. Now, it's going to work when you flip it. So if I go from C up a 6th to A, when you flip interval relationships, you know, they get lopsided, but it's a minor third to go from A up to C. So if I'm playing a minor, I'm just flipping the relationship now. So I'm playing A minor 7th, I now can play out of, that's all C major. That's all C major. Every one of those notes I played, but even though I'm in the key of A minor 7. So if you're in C major, you can play A minor licks, blues licks. If you're playing a minor, you know, blues like this, you can play also C major. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
And then the relationship again is from major, superimposing a minor lick over a major. It has to go up. It's a 6th up. You can experiment with this. You could say, "What if it would work if I did it? If I'm in A minor, if I only went up a 5th? What I mean, and playing, excuse me, my bad. What if I only went up a second, let's say that, let's just experiment with it. So you say you're in A minor, and instead of going up to this, so here we are. They sound like bluesics, and they are, but they're based all of that C major. See, which is weird. And so, but let's say I want to turn around and say, instead of going C major, what can I get away with playing? I mean, this is going to be outside. You ready for this? So I went to a B major 7th. This is going to be weird. But when you hear jazz guys do really outside shit through changes, that, like, because the flat second, flat 9, all that, it's like they took that concept you did and they just moved it 1 fret. So everything that you just learned and played, were comfortable with, you just and play with authority, and then make sure at the end of the lick or somewhere near it you end on a right note. Oh my God, he's playing outside. That's all that is, dude. All playing outside is playing shit you already know really well and moving it 1 fret or the other and doing it with so much authority and making sure that you land somewhere on a right note to make it work. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Now, a lot of traditional jazz is learning a lot of the language and learning a lot of the paraphrasing, you know, the recognizable riffs from things. I mean, there's a lot of vocabulary, but conceptually, what they were doing, the theory is about jazz musician and the language is that the guys were getting bored on standard gigs. So they were playing like Fly Me to the Moon and stuff, or they're playing Summertime, you know. But then they're like, I'm getting tired of that, so they're like, you know, there's the, you know, they're starting to do all these things. Well, those become licks later on their own right, and a lot of people lose sight of the fact that originally somebody was tired of going. So now we have to go. You know, you can hear it though, can't you? Like if it swings and it's got attitude, and you still end in a right note. So keep that in mind when you're playing licks too. Like how. And I mean, if your wife hears you doing the other one, she's like, God, you suck. You'd be like, no, honey, I'm jazzy. It's above your head. So.
Yeah, when you're